Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane. And today I have for you a 1 vs 1 on Semois. Yes, indeed. We shall be seeing some fighting here right here in Semois, this very little lovely map. And who shall be fighting? Well, right here in the southern corner as the Americans, we are seeing Sach, or Sach, whatever the way, fighting for the 1st Infantry Division, going up against, oh my goodness, it's me, ImperialDane. Yes, indeed, exciting. A Propagandacast featuring me, ImperialDane, casting myself. Yes, indeed, quite exciting. At least I hope you find so. Although this is likely due to some time problems. I'm rather busy these days. Lots of bureaucratic nonsense to sort out, I'm afraid, which is rather leaving me with a little less time for all the other things. Anyhow, so I'd also like to apologize for yesterday. Sometimes and again, long days, and then all of a sudden Windows Movie Maker decides it wants to be a bit funny, and then I don't catch it until it's too late. So yes, I'm apologizing for that, and hopefully this game will make up for it a bit. And in fact, let's get right down to it. Let's not muck about. We are seeing pioneers on the way, the usual sort of start for the Wehrmacht. And there, I mean, I'm sort of telling someone I'm a bit busy now. I want a game. In particular, I was in fact having this game just as everything was going on was, well, wrong. And I just wanted one game of Company of Heroes, you know, before I had to sort of get back to sort of figuring out that other problem with, you know, having to reprocess and recast or re-upload. Barracks going up for the Americans. Again, the sort of usual thing right here on Semois. Or in fact, most maps. Not exactly a huge decision. Wehrmacht quarters going up for the Pioniere. And of course, who is fighting, of course, here for the Wehrmacht? Well, this shall be the 21st Panzer Division on the move again. An attempt to keep the armies away from the German border. And give time for Operation Wacht am Rhein to prepare. Which is in fact tomorrow. Yes, indeed, that tomorrow is the beginning of the Battle of the Bulge. But interesting thing to note here, Sach is only going with the 1 engineer side. He's of course opting to get a bit more manpower out for his riflemen, thus meaning of course he doesn't have to wait very long, or he could of course be going for a jeep. Either way, he's going for a rather aggressive start right here, of course, less, you know, seizing territory right off the bat. Of course, he might also be using some of his riflemen for that, of course, since they can do it a bit swifter. Volksgrenadiers are ready, and of course I'm currently a bit behind, of course, in this sort of combat power scale. I only have 2 pioneer teams and a Volksgrenadier team, so he's got a rifleman team and clearly something on the way very soon. Of course, I don't. Shall it be riflemen? Shall it be a jeep? Shall it be a guy named Larry? Who knows? And there we go, 2nd rifleman team, of course, giving him quite the advantage. Even now, I'm only getting my 2nd Volksgrenadier team while he already has 2 rifleman teams again. Very aggressive start, very aggressive beginning. Going to give him a lot of firepower, and of course, greater sort of sense of seizing territory, because riflemen do seize territory faster than your regular engineers. Volksgrenadiers sort of mucking about here, taking points. So are the riflemen advancing ever slowly for Uncle Sam. The 1st Infantry Division certainly not giving up, and there we go, Volksgrenadiers ready, laying down barbed wire here, as this is a very oft harassed point as the Wehrmacht right here on Semois, either down here or up here, so usually laying down some barbed wire is not a bad idea. Perhaps also put down a mine, in fact, right there, so when they do decide to send up some engineers to cut through, they're going to run into a mine. But securing this point first, so I can at least take this point and send down someone to guard there. Volksgrenadiers sending into the center. Now we're seeing a jeep out as the 3rd unit from the barracks. A bit of early harassment right there. Of course, also a bit of reconnaissance, and Volksgrenadiers under fire, returning fire, in fact, to the jeep. Rifle, in fact, continuing towards the west and in the east, in fact, rather ignoring the center. In fact, going also for all the fuel points. Question is, could this mean BARs? Of course, it could also mean he's going for the armored car as soon as possible as well. In fact, using all of his riflemen to, of course, seize territory. Of course, keep me a bit off guard as well. MG42 ready. I'm of course sort of spotting something going down here, so I might be setting down my MG42 there. And the jeep rushing right through here, ignoring the Volksgrenadiers. And of course I'm rather realizing something's going to end up badly as my MG42 is moving in. There we go, MG42 might decide to plop down while the Volksgrenadiers move in to support it. Of course this will not be swift enough. Jeep immediately of course flanks. MP40 off the support gunners fire away at the vicious jeep with his light caliber machine gun. Well, just regular. And the Volksgrenadiers Marine Jeep under fire. In fact, taking quite a bit of damage right there. Pioneers now under fire themselves as the riflemen move in alongside the Jeep, continuing the hunt. While a third Volksgrenadier team on the way, rather realizing we might need some bit more firepower, and the third rifleman team is out alongside that Jeep. He's certainly already doing a bit of damage. Jeep and riflemen pulling away. Volksgrenadiers and MG42s hunting them down. Third team ready. Other Pioneers moving towards the west again. And riflemen could in fact be heading towards the center. Already a rather messy start for me. Riflemen under fire. MG42 sending up to cover, and there we go. Riflemen coming under fire, but they do make it into the building. Not entirely the best position. Only 3 windows, of course. 3 windows the riflemen can do, but still they're also taking quite a bit of damage. Several Volksgrenadiers, although one goes down, and of course an MG42 rifleman sneaking in through the north. This could end up very badly if I'm not careful. Then again, if he doesn't get his rifleman out in time, it could also end up very badly. There we go, down to 2 men and no man. So already there I've gained a slight advantage. Granted, my MG42 is a bit weak, but I've certainly managed to take care of one rifleman team. Krieg skirmish phase on the way. Now my Volksgrenadiers right here in the center are getting gunned down and beaten up by riflemen, but they're still managing to do some damage, but they will have to pull out of there. While the other Volksgrenadiers moving in to hunt down the rifleman MG42, turning about. And getting a bit too close here, but nonetheless figuring I could get the numerical advantage, so say sort this. And there we go, riflemen taking quite a bit of a damage, and once more forced to run away. But clearly, Sach has already planned this out. Already a supply yard is on the way. And we might probably be seeing some sort of armored car business on the way. Then again, he's already got a fresh rifleman team to replace the one lost. So at the same time, it's also been a rather heavy tier 1, of course, due to the loss of that rifleman team. Volksgrenadiers is trying to take that munitions point, but they're coming under fire. Riflemen pushing onwards, taking back towards the cemetery, towards the graveyard. One Volksgrenadier goes down, holding those chaps at bay. MG42 deciding to set up here, and a bit of barbed wire there just in case someone had decided to sort of sneak through here and open up on my men there. You keep sort of continuing to move about in the rear. Volksgrenadiers reinforced, Krieg barracks going up, and of course there we go. Motor pool is going up for our American friend despite heavy losses, and rather than getting caught out in the open by the MG42, just as I'm trying to sort of again lay down some barbed wire there so no one can't run right at it. And Volksgrenadiers facing off against Jeep, and a Panzerfaust clears that up, plus a bit of a defense. A nice bonfire for the Volksgrenadiers to warm their cold fingers over. But they are immediately forced to move on. Would be a nice move of me to sort of scavenge that for munitions later on, you know, the burning Jeep in the ditch. Trying to do a bit of damage to these riflemen. Volksgrenadiers with MP40s hunting them down. And of course, clever move right here, of course, not deciding to charge through here where I have a larger presence, but instead flanking through here in the east where he's probably figuring I'm weaker. Of course, that is a clever thing to do, you know. Don't necessarily attack where your opponent is weakest, or strongest, you know, where he's got all the defenses. Try to hit him where he's weakest, where it's not quite as defended, thus forcing him to spread out. Pack 38 on the way, though, and there we go. Volksgrenadiers under fire from the riflemen. And going terror, going for seal fanatism. Allowing my troops to survive a bit more, making them a bit tougher as they lose men. Riflemen taking some losses, but not quite as many as the Volksgrenadiers. And forced to move from here to there to sort of contain this problem. Pioneers moving in, might lay down some mines. Pack 30 is ready, and the Grenadier on the way. And the motor pool is certainly also ready, and I suspect we'll be seeing an armored car. At the same time, he's also going for the medic station. I mean, good move again, sort of figuring, preparing himself for the long haul. I mean, he's already lost one rifleman team, so we're certainly going to expect more losses. So a nice move there. Also nicely placed. That's something I can easily access. Then again, there's a sort of slight problem, though. At the same time, he's not really fighting anywhere near it. I mean, there's a certain limit to where the medics will actually go for, and they're a bit lazy like that. And these riflemen might also come in a bit of problem. Volksgrenadiers once moving in. MP40s and rifles. Riflemen pulling away. But the armored car, a T-17 in fact, not really used by the Americans, but there we are. Moving forwards. Pack 38 ready here, respecting something right in the center, but no. He might be instead moving in the T-17 right here, of course, where my Pack 38 at the moment isn't. And currently it's a bit cloaked, so it's going to be a lot slower to move about. And there we go. Volksgrenadiers under fire. Taking some losses. Grenadiers moving in. No Panzergrenadiers. Pack 38 needs to uncloak. There we go. Riflemen taking some losses. Other Volksgrenadiers reinforcing. Laying down some mines there to protect the flank of the MG42, at least from the sides of it. And there we go, T-17 under fire from the Panzerabwehrkanone. And it also proceeds to miss very nicely. Lovely, lovely. Except it's not. Might have been trying to panzerfaust that thing. Grenadiers forced away due to the presence of the vicious T-17. Engineers with flamethrowers now ready near the medic station. It looks like we might be seeing something else out of the barracks. Could be Browning automatics, could be grenades, could be more riflemen. Volksgrenadiers reinforcing. Others moving in to perhaps support this Pak 38, which is actually at this very moment rather exposed to an infantry attack by American riflemen. It looks like some pioneers are trying to be a bit sneaky here, move in to harass. You know, always try to harass, and of course if I could do that, I could in fact cut him off from there. But there are some engineers with flamethrowers nearby, riflemen running straight into the Volksgrenadiers, and a bunker up, in fact, right there. Medic bunker, in fact. Riflemen forced away most swiftly. And of course, note I've sort of tried to place it close to the front line, but at the same time not quite as accessible. And of course, in case of on map. And yes, again, that was from the time there. Of course, I was aware, but again, I just wanted one game. Just one game. And grenades on the MG42 clearing out, but the riflemen hit a mine, losing one man, the rest are pinned down. Mortar at the same time ready. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers. Salvaging the munitions out of the jeep. And engineers with flamethrowers advancing through here, leaving my position right here a bit exposed. In fact, T-17 moving back for repairs. Rifleman ready. In fact, he's getting quite a few continually. And engineers with flamethrowers scorching the medic bunker. But of course, there's a huge blind spot right here. And of course, I'm doing my best to take advantage of that. Lots of infantry here. Moving in to clear out those silly engineers. Pioneers, in fact, getting suppressed by their own mortar. That's less than spectacular. And riflemen and engineers, in fact, are forced away. And doing a bit of harassment here. In fact, I don't quite actually have a lot of territory at the moment. I barely have this, but of course I'm doing my best to sort of keep it here. At the same time, of course, one artillery strike. And he's got quite the munitions for it again due to the sort of heavy ability to take as much territory as possible. He could have called it in, but fortunate for me, he's not. Could have really caused a problem here because, again, I don't have a lot of territory, and of course that also means I'd rather have to be a bit careful and, you know, sort of get the most out of my troops. But there we go. Riflemen being forced away. Oh dear, this could be another team lost. Down to 3 men again. 2 rifleman teams so far. Mortar team getting closer. Riflemen caught up inside the house. And the T-17 repaired once more. Getting a supply and upgrade at the same time. That's very nice. What we actually like to see. Helps, of course, with the manpower upkeep. Of course, not getting a rifleman killed also helps. And again, they're not getting much because most of the fighting has been far away from them. And of course, units inside the building doesn't quite get wounded. Mortar rounds though flying, and the riflemen inside are not looking too well. Could in fact go down as well. No, they do make it out there. Just barely. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers moving around, and these securing what they can, and could be a skirmish assault phase on the way. And there we go, assault moving in. Riflemen and engineers. And the T-17 moving in to flank. Getting ready for a major assault head on. Volksgrenadiers and, well, the pioneers are retreating. Medics moving in to get some wounded in and hitting a mine. Always good idea to, you know, laying down some mines. That certainly gave those riflemen a bit of pause. In fact, forcing one away. And there we go. T-17 once moving in, but coming under the fire of the Pak 38 once more. But once more, it gets away. Damn it. And this is rather leading right. Pak 38 are quite exposed. Although some pioneers moving about there, currently having 3 pioneer teams. And the Pak 38 is in what you'd call trouble, hoping to get it in within the safety of the MP40 equipped Volksgrenadiers. But of course the T-17 could move in, take a bit of advantage of this situation. And of course trying to burn down that medic bunker again. Pak 38 cleared out. This is not very good. T-17 on the rear of the Panzerfaust on the rear. And grenades, rather aggressive again. Also got quite a bit of manpower, could be using that to replace those lost riflemen or get himself another armored car or an anti-tank gun. Getting another anti-tank gun to replace the one lost as well. And a grenadier team ready. Mortar still firing though. Grenadiers ready of the Panzer Lehr. Firing away at the engineers. Medic bunker though goes down, and there we go. Pack 38 making its being stolen away by those sneaky riflemen. And the T-17 hits the mine, though it still survives despite having been previously heavily damaged. Although its engine gets destroyed. Grenadiers moving in and knocking out that Pack 38 crew. Although I won't be getting that T-17, I fear. Oh dear, that was a bit too close. Further Grenadiers advancing. Volksgrenadiers. Another Pack 38. Pioneers everything, basically marching what I can. At the same time, Sturm Armory is ready. And what is going on here in the center? Inspired assault, and look, they're an almost fully healed rifleman team. Going down in seconds. To all of this, inspired assault can really make a difference, you know. Increases fire rate by 50%. Also makes them do a bit more damage. I think actually doubles the firing rate, but nonetheless, quite a bit of damage right there in a few seconds. Of course, it also makes them easy to hit, but then again, if you can get off in a situation like this, well, you can do quite a bit of damage. And once more, a rifleman team was lost. So far, that's 3 rifleman teams completely lost. And note, he is a rank 12 American, I believe, so he's not exactly completely lost or clueless. Pushing through here once more. And sending out troops. Pack 38's recruit, ready to cover any side. And he's in fact gone armor. That's a bit rarer. Certainly interesting to see. Of course, interesting to see how that actually also works out. Browning automatic rifles have been prepared and now getting sticky bombs as well. So far, he's actually been posting a lot of resources into this sort of early stuff like supply yard, and his riflemen, who will now, in fact, with that final upgrade, be pretty much fully upgraded. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers heading towards the center. Pack 38's covering.
Losing ground out there.
Another bunker going up, figuring I might as well try to get another grenadier team like that. Riflemen charging forwards. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers holding the line. T-17 moving through, but not supporting actually. Wonder what he could be up to, and there we go, a grenade forcing the Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers away, or at least an attempt at a grenade. Mortar could be firing support. No, it's not. And quite a few Americans moving in. MP40 equipped Volksgrenadiers trying to support grenade. Killing an engineer. Pack 38 trying to get out. Volksgrenadiers charging in, but forced to retreat. And a full retreat right from the center of the cemetery. Volksgrenadiers providing cover. Grenades going off. Mortar rounds flying. This is looking like another collapse, but the engineer team is cleared out. That's another loss. Pioneers hiding inside the bunker they've just erected. Volksgrenadiers trying their best to cover the retreat of the Pack 38 and the rest of the forces. Pioneers also making a run for it, but the Volksgrenadiers simply getting suppressed. BAR fire and 442 munitions. And the Pioneers might actually want to get out of there. Riflemen and engineers with flamethrowers taking up position in the bar. T-17 taking territory. Of course, one other indicator he's gone for the armored doctrine. At the same time, I'm harassing myself a bit. Pack 38 trying to get away. And immediately counter-attacking, reinforcing as swiftly as I can, and then moving out. Perhaps also firing a few mortar rounds on these riflemen, rather nicely placed there. And an armored car is ready. Heavy armored car, in fact. Schwerer Panzerspähwagen. And another anti-tank gun might get cleared out, tragically. But these riflemen are certainly taking some damage. And there we go. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers moving in. Rifleman goes down and lacking a bit in territory, lacking a bit of everything, but still fighting, moving onwards. And he's got quite a bit of munitions, but again, due to the choice of armor, he doesn't quite have the ability to really use it as heavily as he normally could, I suppose. And he isn't really even mining, and that seems to be really his major problem, not mining enough. And LMG equipped for the Grenadiers, 12 kills on them, 6 kills there. Grenade kills only one Grenadier. Armored car moves in. Fortunately, to take up position in this building. Being a bit careful not to get too sticky bombed up there. Pack 38 for some reason hitting my own bunker. That's less spectacular. And Allies being forced up with center once more. Bunker will be in need of repairs though. Riflemen moving in the south. Shoot. And the Grenadiers heading towards the center. Some with MG-42s providing the covering fire. Riflemen moving into the altar source. Volksgrenadiers go down. Armored car advances opening up on the rifleman who, oh dear, he makes a mistake there. He goes straight for the anti-tank gun, which actually splits up his riflemen. Oh dear, that could mean another rifleman team lost. And the mortar fires in support. And another rifleman team utterly devastated. That's 4 rifleman teams. I know he's certainly doing his best, Oh, he's a bit too blobby and direct assault, but you know, he needs to also remember the defensive aspect of the Americans. I mean, he's good at the aggressive, but he's not really laying down mines, and that can really be a problem for the Wehrmacht if, you know, they have to sort of get rushed out, and which is rather easy actually with Americans with enough BARs, and then sort of have to counterattack through a minefield. It can really be painful. Pack 38 once more recruit. T-17 is running about, seizing territory. Sneaky that. Might consider getting a Kampfkraft center. Then again, at this stage, I'm pretty sure I have seen that he's got an armored company. At that stage, I'm rather figuring, well, I'm going to need a Panther in case he gets a Pershing. That's pretty much always what I think. In case I see even the slightest indicator of armor company, I always think Pershing. Of course, it rarely happens. They always go for Calliope, but then again, you don't want to be caught with your pants down facing a Pershing. He does have Allied war machine ready. He's getting a tank depot himself, in fact. Rifleman getting ready once more, and again, it's a bit of a mistake right here. You know, again, he's not fighting near his medic station. He's not actually showing any wounded there, and you know, he could have at least, you know, placed up a medic station right here, you know, to support that. Sadly, he didn't. In fact, that could probably have done him quite well. Volksgrenadiers under heavy fighting, forced away by the riflemen. Armored car moving in to provide support. Mortar rounds flying, suppressing one rifleman team. And I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. What is the current situation? Currently, the Americans are in fact holding most of the territory. First Infantry Division pushing onwards, of course, even going from a fuel point right there, trying to move in with a Pack 38 to put a stop to that. I do have a medic bunker up again, getting it repaired though. But I'm looking a bit penned in. He's, you know, constantly attacking from all sides, rather making me a bit more unsure where to go, what to do. And that's certainly not a bad idea. But he needs, you know, when you have a medic bunker or a medic station, you know, try to ensure it's where you will to be doing most of your fighting. That is currently one of Sach's major problems, besides, you know, constantly losing riflemen, but at the same time, you know, he doesn't have a huge problem in replacing them. But again, you know, he could have placed one down here as well. Might have helped a bit more. And of course, he's now using his T-17 to basically, you know, seize territory. He's not fighting with it. On the other hand, what do I need? We'll get our Panzer Command, perhaps get some armor out, and of course, perhaps also consider getting a Kampfkraft center and some veterancy, in particular for the armor. But let us return to the fight. Mortar firing, 5 killed so far actually still alive. Riflemen running away, others flanking about here. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers moving about, some with LMGs, others without. And it hits the mine, which is actually placed there. Volksgrenadiers moving in, perhaps hoping to get a Panzerfaust off. Pack 38 might want to consider move, and there we go. Uncloaking and moving in to clear out that naughty T-17, of course, going for Allied war machine, rather having realized he's lost, and of course I could probably ignore it, but then again, it's still a veterancy 1 T-17, it doesn't really matter much. I mean, he's not going to get that veterancy back either. Basically, plus I need as much territory as possible because I'm rather penned in, I have a lot of units. This could in fact drain me and rather leave me a bit crippled since I can't get any new units without the sufficient population cap. Riflemen forced away, Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers bringing armored car providing a bit of covering fire. Pack 38 having a bit of fun as well. Panzer Command going up for the 21st Panzer Division. T-17 moving out, tank deeper up. He could be getting, as Germany could also be getting a Calliope, and in fact he does. German Calliope ready, which, you know, fought around the time of the Ardennes and all that. It didn't actually fight Normandy for sort of armored artillery. They sort of had a bit sort of the same thing like the Stu 42, basically, you know, except it was a Sherman tank with a 105mm howitzer gun attached. T-17 flanking about here. Grenadiers opening up with LMG 42, not really managing much. And an assault going through the center, Grenadiers and armored car, mortar firing as well. Grenadiers might want to continue moving in to deal with that. Grenadiers forced away by the heavy presence of assault forces. Pioneers moving in here to do a bit of harassment. And Volksgrenadiers moving about here as well. And the Calliope fires right into all of this. Building absorbs most of the damage though for the medic bunker, which is to my advantage. Charging through the center, only thing to hold it back really now at the moment Are those Grenadiers with MG42 opening up on those dastardly Americans? Even got some full taking territory down there. The Grenadiers blast away from the cover of the shed. Riflemen moving close, taking a bit of damage in fact. Grenade lobbed at the Grenadiers. And the T-17 could be going down to the Pak-38. Yes, indeed. He does go for Allied War Machine once more. And the Grenadiers, only 2 men. In fact, almost cleared an entire rifleman team. MG42 ready once more, rather thinking he might consider getting it again. Suppressing the riflemen with a mine and a grenade on the Pak-38, clearing it out. T-17 ready. But then again, I mean, that could also be the reason he went, to save all that munitions, of course, to get really a lot of Allied War Machine, thus meaning, of course, he doesn't have to worry about losing armor. I mean, that's certainly a valid strategy and a valid tactic. Of course, he could also use a bit more mines, but there we go. Can't have everything. And now, of course, there's a T-17, and I don't quite have any assets. Oh, wait, there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 4 ready to fight for the fatherland, and that is, in fact, returned to me. And as you might have noticed, I don't quite have the same amount of munitions. But I do have some Grenadiers with a Panzergrenadiers. Calliope once more advancing. Perhaps something on the way from the tank depot. Panzerfaust on the T-17 Grenadiers moving in with Panzergrenadiers as well. And a Calliope right in the midst of this. Oh dear, hitting all of my troops. Wuksuk! And the... I'm not entirely sure what knocked out that T-17. Could have been a Panzergrenadier, I suppose. But swiftly moving forwards, Panzer IV moving it out as well, supported by the armored car, perhaps hoping to hunt down that. Yes, cemeteries aren't really the best route to move through, but perhaps it could be. I just figured I couldn't catch up anyways. But slowly turning things around, and currently having a few T-17s actually just sort of scavenge through for munitions. Certainly going to help me a bit if I get around to that. Kampfkraft center up, and immediately getting vehicle veterancy 1. Sherman is ready. American Panzer on the way. MG42 once more setting up right there. Grenadiers getting ready to support. A rifleman running perhaps into the MG42, which didn't actually get into the building, just setting up instead. Panzer IV opening up on the rifleman, so do the Grenadiers with MG42 armored car as well. And riflemen taking heavy losses, veterancy 2 riflemen forced away. And the Sherman advances having in fact been outgunned, increasing the penetration. That's actually not a bad idea. And the Puma needs to get away lest it actually, that cemetery becomes the cemetery for it. Panzer IV opens up. No Grenadiers with Panzergrenadiers to support though. But quite a bit of munitions from scavenging all those T-17s, or at least that one there. And the, oh dear, Calliope once more right in the middle of the thing. Heavy losses, Volksgrenadier team lost, blasted away by the dreaded Calliope. Oh, the horror, the horror. They shall be remembered, but the Panzer IV continues. And the Puma finally goes out of control, figuring it might have gotten out of there, but no, it did not. It died. Mortar round still flying, and medics moving in for the wounded. Looking a bit grim. Reinforcing, perhaps getting a bit more veterancy. Of course, don't quite have the fuel for anything else at this stage. Tragically, I couldn't get, like say, another Panzer IV or a Panther, which certainly could help. But currently, this outgunned Sherman will be having a bit of an advantage against the Panzer IV, being able to more regularly penetrate the frontal armor with that outgunned bit there. But he is lacking a bit in infantry, you know. He's only got 2 rifleman teams left. And an engineer team. That's certainly a bit his problem. He's, you know, good at the aggression, but the unit preservation really seems to be where he's lacking. Or at least the luck. Could be that as well. Getting infantry veterancy 1 as well. Yes, comrade. I mean, he's certainly, you know, been pretty aggressive in observation push too. Fancy that. But he's been suffering a bit too heavily in the long run, to put it mildly. And I really think a Pershing would have been better for him, rather than a Calliope. Would have really allowed him, you know, to actually push the assault rather than support the assault. Then again, with more Shermans, he could possibly push it through. A bit of sandbags going down here to create a nice defensive position within the remains of the cemetery. since I rather figure he does tend to attack right here at this stage now from the front. Not much like that from the medic station either. Medic bunker almost ready with another team, and scavenging that T-17 as well. All a bit quiet at this stage though, not a lot going on. Got quite a bit of resources in fact, might want to consider using that.
Supply lines up. Americans are seizing territory from supply.
I said use it. You stupid tosser. Don't hang about like that. Then again, it could be I'm going for an observation post, and in fact I am. Thus getting me a bit more fuel. And the Sherman's on the move, going for a flanking maneuver. Again, that's certainly not bad, but the trouble is now he's actually lacking the infantry support. And he's not even moving in the Calliope to support that offensive. Grenadiers holding the line there with the LMG-42. 20 killed so far. More munitions getting salvaged. In fact, now getting quite a bit myself, but not entirely sure what to use it for. Of course, might could be good. And riflemen charging right here. Getting inspired assault, though. Increasing, of course, the damage of all the weapons. And, of course, the rate of fire. Riflemen taking quite a few losses, but the Shermans move in nonetheless. Unhindered by the Grenadiers' presence. And riflemen being stopped right there by Grenadiers. Also with inspired assault. And the Shermans move in through the south. A jeep moving in as well, perhaps hoping to use that for a bit of harassment. Pioneers on the run. Mortar on the run as well. Oh dear. Panzer IV moves in, facing off against the Sherman. Grenadiers with the Panzerjacks on the spot. Lots of Panzerfaust, basically figuring I might as well try to do as much damage before it's too late. And the Calliope arrives as well. This is absolute madness, chaos. Shermans are taking a bit of damage. Quite a bit actually. And a Panzerjäger hits. Oh dear, he is going for once more Allied war machine. Panzer IV has sadly turned its rear. One Sherman down. And the Calliope opens up. Grenadiers on the run. Sherman almost down, but so is the Panzer IV. But looks like the Sherman is trying to get away. But no, it's not enough. The main gun is destroyed. And knocked out, though it does give them 2 fresh Shermans. And the Calliope with Weapon 21 just needs to get out of there before more Panzerfaust hit it. And of course at the same time, Königstiger, yes indeed, a bit of a surprise there. King Tiger, released from Company Corps Reserve, or Corps Reserve. And of course scratching all those nice Shermans I could have salvaged for munitions. Great, isn't it? But of course using the Jeep to harass, and of course there's some advantage to that. Of course it can get away a lot swifter than say engineers, without actually having to make a full retreat. Of course it does take territory a bit slowly, but still, I suppose that is the sort of thing he doesn't care much about. Sherman's advancing once more, and running straight into a King Tiger. More Calliopes ready though. Again, I can't help but feel he might have wanted, perhaps some Pershing action. Or perhaps some tank destroyers. Sherman's trying to fight that King Tiger. Grenadiers, mortar teams, everything advancing. And Veteran 22 for my Panzers. And the Sherman goes down. Oh dear, looks like another Calliope barrage flying through the air. Oh. Right on the Panzer IV.
Enemy unit.
Everything else dies except the Panzer IV. And this Calliope needs to get away. And it does so swiftly. Sherman... Oh wait, that's Jeep knocked out by the Panzerfaust. And Americans move through here in the center, hoping to counterattack, save the Calliope. And a bit of propaganda war. Chasing those Americans with boss. Grenadiers still hanging up, but now deciding what to use all that munitions to also increase the firepower of those Grenadiers I do actually have. So getting them a Panzerschreck, not what I usually do, but on the other hand, figure I might as well, since I'm rather lacking a bit of manpower, and thus I need some way to actually make my Grenadiers more effective. And sadly, all those Calliopes isn't really the method for getting me some wounded for my Grenadier team from my medic bunker. Looks like more engineers. He's still down to only 2 rifleman teams. He's not getting quite the bit out of that medic station. But moving forwards once more, though, lacking in the armor now to actually push. All he really has are those Calipes to support his advance. Wait, looks like he actually had a Sherman up there. Interesting. But it is in need of repairs. Riflemen charging forward, Full Grenadiers under fire. Forced retreat by the King Tiger, moves short Grenadiers moving in to support as well. Riflemen taking quite a bit of damage. Panzer IV also opening up, and there we go. And another Calliope rush right down on the Panzer IV once more. Oh dear, this time it actually went down. Mortar team is still there though, just hanging on by a thread. And Grenadiers trying to hunt down the Calliope, but the Calliope is too fast. At the same time sending through Full Grenadiers in the south to see some territory there. But not looking good for the Americans. Getting supply yard upgrade number 2. He could be closer getting that Pershing though, or at least getting the command points for it. Of course, question is, does he then want it? Sherman getting repaired, apparently just being used to protect this northern victory point at this stage of the war. And the other Grenadier team advancing for the fatherland. A bit quiet though. A bit quiet. And the Pak 38 is still covering this point. I do wonder what Sach will be up to. Getting another Jeep. Seems a bit odd. Slowly pulling away the King Tiger. Using the Grenadiers to cover.
Allies are down to 100 points.
And there we go. Calliope is flying through the air, forcing the Grenadiers to leg it. Unless they become tiny bits of meat. And this medic bunker could certainly do with a few repairs. Since it's certainly starting to look like the extension of that ruined cafe. Well, I've been once more charging forward. Grenadiers, Force Grenadiers, and of course the King Tiger proving a bit of a barrier. And the Jeep sneaking through there again. More on the way from the Panzer Command. Rifleman goes down to the King Tiger. MG42 still in fact in there. And getting stopped by the MG42 and the King Tiger. And this Jeep needs to get out of there before it gets panzer-fausted like its comrade. Looks like it manages. Looks like it manages. Riflemen though forced away. The center in trouble. The American line, or American effort, looking very close to collapsing utterly. More riflemen. Quite frankly, I don't know how many riflemen he's lost at this stage. Certainly quite a few. And that mortar is just firing away. Like there was nothing else in the world to do. Panzer IV ready again. Well, another one ready. More specifically, Calliope is getting ready to open up, but there's not really much for them to really open up for. A solo concerto, if you will. Blasting away at the King Tiger. The King Tiger are not really caring. The medic bunker, though, finally going down. Having absorbed quite a bit of punishment. Trying to ensure my Grenadiers stay on the right side of that piece of Bocage, but no such luck. Grenadiers advancing towards here. Engineers, all medics also advancing, in fact.
We got ground troops firing on us. Munitions point secured.
Germans are seizing territory from us.
But no LMG for those other Grenadiers, it seems like.
We're all reinforced.
Could certainly then be considered a very heavy squad. If one was to consider such a thing. No veterancy, nothing really going on in the Wehrmacht base. Americans once more getting ready for another assault, but sadly not pulling in that Sherman in the fight. Keep moving about.
People. Psst. Listen up.
Mortar rounds and Panzer IV. Doesn't look like that Jeep will make it out alive, but apparently it does. And looks like some Volksgunners with MP40s now, veterans too. In fact, they're holding that piece of the area.
Victory point under siege.
And my pioneers get a bit of a Sherman surprise right up here in the north. Now getting the 50 caliber machine upgrade. But I do manage to render this point neutral before the pioneers have to run away.
Put her in gear.
Running straight into the Volksgunners and seeing some firestorm going in as well. And inspired assault as well. Grenade on the Volksgunners. But the riflemen do take heavy losses from the inspired assault Volksgunners and the Panzer IV standing in the fiery inferno like a beast of vengeance. Certainly looked pretty cool when it was right there in the middle of the flames. As it slaughtered the Americans, sending them on their way again. Now floating quite a bit of manpower. He could be expecting for a Pershing now actually. And looks like he's trying to flank through here. Grenadiers for the MGs and Panzergrenadiers moving in. 27 kills in fact. And Rifleman moving in.
We're down to 25 points.
Grenade on the engineers. Almost killing them. Riflemen then moving forward. Sadly, the MG42 gunners inside are not quite keen on aiming, actually. King Tiger decides to move into support. And a grenade, but the MG gunners get out of their grenade, slightly pull away. Luring, in fact, the Rifleman right in front of the MG42. There we go, Rifleman taking some losses. Sherman moves forward. Calliope barrage, focusing everything, including a sticky bomb on the King Tiger, hoping to get the beast. Panzer IV fighting desperate, well, not quite desperately in the south. Sherman with field repairs on it, trying to flank about the King Tiger, but he's rather forgotten about the Grenadiers, who've actually now gotten a LMG-42. So this Sherman is in fact being caught out in the middle of a lot of fire. Panzerjets, King Tigers, nothing to support it. Out of control. And the Panzer IV moves in to have a bit of fun as well. But lacking the manpower and more specifically the command points to call in that Pershing. What about me? Getting a Panther, yes indeed. King Tiger though looking a bit worse for wear. Looking wary. Ill, but nonetheless holding on in the name of the glorious fatherland. Can't say the same about the Pershing and those riflemen. Seen too many of their own men die in front of the eyes, and almost is that medic station almost ready to reform a rifleman team. And Calliope is flying right into the mix of this. Grenadiers forced to run away, but the Panzer IV and the King Tiger holds the line. Heavy losses for the riflemen as they advance on the German Panzers. Another rifleman team down. Panzer IV mobilized, but the Panthers there to the rescue, and the riflemen looks like they will not be making out of their life, and there we go. Running out of victory points, Sach and the 1st Infantry Division have lost in the face of the 21st Panzer Division. Although it certainly wasn't without a fight. A very brutal and heroic fight, so of course. What can we learn from this fight? Well, one of them was actually no placement of medic bunkers and medic stations. I mean, it's good to place them in cover, but at the same time you have to be sort of and close to the front, but there's also one more thing you have to remember. They have to be close to where you're fighting. Trouble was, Sach most of the time fought away from his medic station, which rather, as you might have guessed, meant he didn't actually get anything out of it. He didn't place a second one, which could have helped either. So a bit of a few problems there. He also lost a few too many riflemen, of course, in the case of the inspired assault. That might not have actually helped him. So of course, again, he was being gunned down rather swiftly. But in other cases, he probably could have gotten out earlier. I mean, the idea with the Jeep certainly was alright, but, you know, he could have probably used it better on perhaps some infantry or some Shermans. And, of course, I think he should have gone for the Pershing rather than the Calliope off the bat. But, again, those are different opinions. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is ImperialDane saying cheers.